with the screen. Right, okay guys, okay. So done. Right, so either Vinod can be a member of Active Directory or Vinod can be a user at Windows Server. Okay, only thing is a lot of users I have to create if lot of DBAs are there, if lot of servers are there. If it is one server, right, so no issues, we can handle. Later we'll create multiple servers, then I'll show you how to create user in the ID and all, how to manage the security. Okay, right, fine. So here, please mute it guys. Okay, done. So here, what I have to do, guys, I have to create a Windows login for Vinod, means I have to create a Windows user first, then only I can create a Windows login. Right? Done. So now he is able to connect to the SQL server. See here, the boundaries. Vinod is in the SQL server now. Okay. So now Vinod can connect to the SQL server. By default, he can connect to the SQL server. But don't think Vinod can connect to this database or this database or this database. No. Why? Because I didn't give permissions to Vinod till now. If I gave permissions to Vinod, then only he is able to connect to the particular database. So in our SQL server, how many databases are there, guys? We have two databases, I think, Flipkart and Sales, right? Chalo. Let's try to, okay, represent the same. Security will work same for Windows login and SQL login, guys. There is no different. Only the thing is, only difference between Windows login, SQL login is the way you are connecting to the SQL server. That's it. Once you enter into the SQL server, there is no difference between a Windows login and a SQL login. Both can do both the things, all the things. Okay, so don't think Windows login will have extra privileges, SQL login doesn't have extra privileges. No, if you give sysadmin for both will act as a sysadmin. They can do everything in the SQL server level. Okay, only thing the difference between the Windows login and SQL login is the way you are connecting to the SQL server. That is the only difference, guys. Okay, chalo, fine. So now if Vinod wants to connect, what are the databases I have in my SQL server? I have two databases, Flipkart and Sales. Chalo. Let me try to rename this as a Flipkart. Okay, and text size would be 12. Okay, so let me rename this as a Flipkart. Yes, so I hope you are connected with me. So in case if you are disconnected, please let me know. I'll explain again. No issues. Okay, sales. So this is my Flipkart database. Okay, and this is my sales database. Done. Okay, sales and Flipkart database. Okay, chalo. Okay, so now Vinod wants to connect to Flipkart database. If I give access to Vinod, then only Vinod can connect to the control chat. If I gave access to Vinod, then only Vinod can connect to my Flipkart database. I'll show you guys. I'll show you demo and all. I'll show you. You can get better idea. Okay. So this Vinod is now okay. Let me go with a small Vinod. Okay, small Vinod on this database, guys. Okay, who is this? Who is this, guys?
You know.
Vinod. This is
Vinod.
database level user. This is Vinod login. For Vinod login, Vinod user is there. Let me differentiate the color so that you will get an idea. Okay, let me go like this. Okay, so instead of this one, I just want to differentiate. Delete. Done. Okay, guys. When Vinod user will be created in the database, guys, when I gave access to Vinod, when I gave access to Vinod, okay, when I gave access to Vinod on Flipkart database, a small user will be created. Small means a user will be created in the Flipkart database. That username is called Vinod user. This is Windows Vinod user. This is SQL Windows login, guys. This is Windows in Windows. I mean in SQL Server Windows login. When I gave access to Flipkart database, when I gave access to Vinod on Flipkart database, In the Flipkart database, we know the database user will be created. Now you know the difference between Windows user, Windows login and database user, guys. Windows user can access Windows authentication but not database. See, once he entered into the SQL server, again for connecting to the SQL server database, it won't ask anything. Okay, for example, now imagine we have different logins, right? Let's connect as Anil. Okay, let's connect as Anil. I'll give SQL authentication. If you want Windows authentication, also same thing. Okay, as I didn't create a Windows authentication, I'll show you 1 2 3. Right. I just want to show you whether Anil can access Flipkart database or not. No, he can't access. See here, the database Flipkart is not accessible. Let's see whether he can access. No, he cannot see. Now see the differences, guys. Let's go to the database Flipkart and go to the security. Again in the database, you can see one more security. Go to the users list. See here, in the users list, Anil is not there. When I gave access to Anil on this Flipkart database, one Anil will be created as discussed as per this diagram. One Anil will be created in the database, then only he is able to access. If you want, if you have a doubt, let me give access, guys. I'll tell you again how to give access, but just for okay example, I'm giving access to Anil on Flipkart database. Okay, user mapping on Flipkart database, I'm giving access to Anil. Okay, just I'm giving DB. Forget about sir what and all this, please explain. I'll explain again later. Okay, I'm just show, I want to show you the access whether. Now see here, when I click OK in the users list for Flipkart users list. Okay, now Anil, you can see under users list Anil, you can see. Now earlier Anil is not able to expand the database, right, under his account. Just refresh it again, just refresh the sales also. Okay, now try to access the Flipkart. Earlier he got the error when he click on the plus symbol. Now he is able to expand the plus symbol. Okay, for sales, as we did not give access on sales, if Anil is trying to click on sales, Anil is getting error, guys. Okay, now is it clear? Either it is a Windows login or SQL login, concept is same. Once I gave the access to any login on any database, a user will be created for that login with the same login name in the database. For Anil login, Anil user will be created. So this is Anil login, guys. In the security, in the server level security, guys, listen carefully. Okay, it was disconnected. We have two types of securities. One is server level security. In that server level security, you can see logins. Logins are server level entities, objects, you can say. You can see one more security in the database. Okay, this is server level security. Under server level security, you can see logins. Logins are server level objects. Under each database, you can see one more security, that is database level security. Under database level, you can see users, that is database level security. These users are database level objects. Okay, so what is the main point I just want to convey? Even though I gave access to the server, you cannot connect to the database until I gave access to the database, guys. Is this clear? First point, is this clear, everyone? Once
Yes.
I
Yes.
gave the access, once I gave the access to on any database, a user will be created in the database. Okay, a user will be created in the database. A user will be created in the database on behalf of this Vinod login. This Vinod user will help to read the data, to write the data to the database, to pull the data. Okay, whatever Vinod login cannot directly enter into the database. On behalf of Vinod login, a representative will be there in the particular database. That representative will help Vinod. Whatever Vinod is requesting, Vinod is running one select query. On behalf of this Vinod user will pull the data. This Vinod login is running one insert query. On behalf of this Vinod login, this Vinod user is inserting the data inside the database. So logins can never enter into the database. On behalf of logins, users will be there, representatives will be there. When users will be there, when you gave access, the user will be created. So that user will help to Vinod login. Then only Vinod is able to execute all the things. Depends upon his permissions. Is this clear, guys? Only thing, just want to tell you one thing, guys. If I gave access to any login on any database, one user will be created with that same login name. That is the only thing I want to convey. Is this clear, everyone? Okay,
Yes.
as there is no Vinod user in the sales database, okay, that's why Vinod is unable to expand sales database. Vinod is unable to open sales database, but I gave access to Vinod on Flipkart database. Vinod is able to open, okay, Flipkart database. Now if you have a doubt, what I can do, in the Flipkart there are no tables, I guess user tables are not there. Okay, so what I can do, I'll give you access on sales table also, sales database also for Vinod. Okay, as of now Vinod cannot expand sales database, right? Let me give you access to Vinod on sales database. Okay, let me give you access to Vinod on how can I give it? Go to security, server level security, double click on Anil, to which I have to give access Anil, right? Go to user mapping, select the sales database, which database you want to give. See here, Anil user, under user section you can see Anil user. Sir, can I edit this user Anil as, okay, some other name, some Suresh? Yes, you can edit it. Means for Anil login, Suresh user will be created. Only the name you can edit, but that is not the good way. Why? Because people will confuse, other DBS will confuse, where is the Anil user, they will confuse. So don't edit it, but you can edit it. Okay, so keep it this as a DBO, it's a schema. Now I'm just clicking OK, guys. This is how you have to give access on any database. Now earlier Anil is not able to expand the sales database, right? Now check. Now he is able to expand the database. But if you see, when you expand the tables, you don't see any tables. But in the main database, you can see two tables are there. Sales table, student table. The same database, sales. But here, I don't see any tables, guys. What is the issue? What is the issue, guys? I gave access to Anil on sales database, but still he is not able to see the tables. Why?
I think permission issue.
Permission issue,
User
simply
right.
permission issue. Correct. It's a permission issue. That's why Anil is not able to see the tables. I told you, right? You can restrict the users in the server level, SQL instance level, database level, table level. Okay. Now Anil entered into the server. Anil entered into the in database. Anil entered into the, I mean, database only. But Anil can't see the tables. Why? Because he is not authorized person to this to see the tables. Agree, guys? If I gave access to Anil to see the tables, then only Anil can see those two tables, guys. This is how the access is restricted in the SQL server. This is how the access is layered in the SQL server. Are we good, guys? Is it clear? Database user, server login, Windows user. Is it clear, everyone? Any doubts in this architecture? For SQL login, this is SQL login, right? So for SQL login, just create SQL login for Vinod. That's it. For SQL login, there is no prerequisites. Only for Windows login, there is a prerequisite that Windows user should be there. For SQL login, I can directly create a SQL login for Vinod. Okay. So of course, if I create a SQL login, again the same concept. If I gave access on sales table, this Vinod can access. Okay, the sales table. So one more user will be created for Vinod in the particular sales database. Okay, so because of blue color it is overlapping. That's okay. Okay, so this is how the security will manage, guys. Okay, any issues, any doubts, please let me know here. Okay, any questions, guys? Maximum how many? Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. So I guess this question we have already discussed. What is the magic number in the SQL server?
32,007.
Correct. Okay, so I can create 32,767 logins. Last time also we discussed the same point. I can maximum in a SQL server I can create 32,767 logins. I can create 32,000. see, now tell me how many users I can create for each login. Tell me maximum how many users I can create for each login. I can create 32,768 767 guys, not 8. 32,767 logins, okay, in SQL Server. For Vinod is a SQL login or Windows login, anything guys. Okay. So how many database level users I can create? How many maximum number of database level users I can create for Vinod? When the user will be created,
765.
first of all, when the user will be created? When the
The
Windows
SQL
user
sir.
will be, sorry,
The SQL sir.
in the SQL server only, sir. I am not asking where. When the user will be created? When this person is created, guys. When this person is created, or how this person is created? This one, this guy. Okay, where is that? Under security. How come you got this person into the database? How we got this person in the database, guys?
Once create the
That's okay, Raju.
server.
To read, to write, to store, that's okay. How this Anil came into this database? How
First he
Anil,
entered to the Windows.
After creation only sir.
after creation?
Giving permission.
Very good, very good. Who answered? Pradeep or Shivshankar? Okay. So
Pradeep,
when I,
permission.
yeah, so when I gave access, then please mute it. When I gave access, then only the Anil is created, right? When I gave
Yes,
access,
sir.
then only Anil user is created. Until then, there is no Anil. When I gave access on sales database, then only Anil is created. So like that, how many maximum users I can create? For one database, one user, like that, how many max users I can create? For one login, how many maximum users I can create?
20, sir.
Why 20, sir? 20 is your magic number. For one,
767.
sorry,
One server,
767.
we can create 20 users.
why? Did I say like that? One server we can create 20 users.
767.
How 32,767? Can you explain?
One, so 327666.
32,000?
Suppose because he also is the first.
No, you are not clear. First of all, your voice is too low. Please be little bit loud so that I can hear you.
So he also first user, no first.
Again, I'm so sorry. You are starting something and your voice is coming down again. Okay.
Sir, not sure, but it may be 32767.
32767. Not sure. As it is a magic number. Hmm?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone can apply the common sense. Just common sense. Whatever we discussed till now, just common sense apply. For one login, if I gave access on one database, one user will be created. This is very clear point. For one login, if I gave access on database, one user is created. If I gave for Vinod, if I gave access on sales database, second user will be created. For Vinod, if I gave access on third database, third user will be created. Like that, for Vinod, how many maximum users will be created?
Depend on database, number
Very
of
good.
database.
Very good. Max means, if I asked max means, that's okay. Depends on the database. Very good. Max, I'm asking the peak level.
32, 700.
Why
We can create the
32,767?
32,767 databases, sir,
Very
on
good.
instance.
Okay, very good.
That way,
So for one
every
instance,
database, for
correct,
instance,
correct. Please continue.
every database has one user
Hmm.
based upon the 32,767 users we can create.
Correct. Are we good now, guys? Is that clear? Why? So when I gave access on any database, one user will be created. Like that, maximum how many databases in one SQL Server instance? Max 32,767 databases. For one login, if you gave access on one database, one user will be created. Okay, so like that, if you gave access on all the databases, for one login, maximum 32,767 users can be created. Agree? Agree?
Sir,
Are we
yes,
clear? Still having any
Yes, sir.
doubts? Okay, so this is how the concept, guys. Okay, this is how the security concept. So whenever I gave access to any database, the thing is, only the thing is, you have to listen carefully. Only the thing is, whenever I gave access to any whether it is a Windows login or SQL login, that doesn't mind, guys. Okay, not an issue. Anything, concept is same. Whether I give an access on any database, okay, a user will be created on behalf of, okay, that particular login. Okay, so this is how the security will be managed. Now if you see, okay, can I call this person or else this person as a grandfather? Okay, if grandfather is there, father will be created. If father is there, then only the child will be created. Is that fine, guys? Child, father, grandfather relation for Windows login. Are you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Right? Why?
Yes, yes.
Because without this user I cannot create this Windows login. Without this Windows login I cannot create this Windows user. So this database level user is a child. Okay, and this is your father and this is your grandfather for Windows login. For SQL login there is no dependency, right? So for SQL login you will have only father and child relation. For Windows login, grandfather, father, child relation. For SQL login, father and child relation will be there, guys. That's it. If you understood this concept clearly, it's very easy to understand the security. Very easy. Nothing is there. Very simple, guys. For us, real-time activities will be, they will ask us to create a login. They will ask us to give access on any database. They will ask us to they will ask us to give access on any table. So if I want to give access, I should have logins, right? So on what basis I can create logins? What logins I can create? This is how we discuss whatever we discussed. So we are going to, okay, manage the things whatever we discussed today. So the same concept will be followed, guys. Okay, so this is how the security will be managed. Let me know if anyone having any doubts in the security concept. Otherwise, I'll jump and I'm going to show you the demo for Windows login first, then SQL login. Are we good, guys? Tell me, please.
One database have Windows login and SQL login.
Yeah, no problem. That's not an issue. That's what I said. Once you are entered into the SQL server, that doesn't mean whether you are a Windows login or SQL login. So one database, okay, one database can have Windows login and SQL login, but not for one user. Okay, why? Because for Vinod I can create Windows login, I can create SQL login also for Vinod. Okay, so when I gave access on this database, Vinod user will be already created. Okay, so next time also we can create, but we cannot give same Windows username. Vinod username you cannot give, you have to give different name. Why? Because already Vinod is existed in the database. Agree?
Okay, two users in the same database.
Yes, of course. You are asking about for two logins or for a single login, you are asking two users.
Two
Two
users in
users
the
of
same
what?
database.
For a single login you have to mention, sir.
Database.
Database, okay, sir. Login, for a single login you are asking about two users or multiple logins, multiple users you are asking.
Multiple logins.
Multiple logins I can give 10 people, okay, on the same database. 10 users will be created. I can give 20 people on the same database. I can give access to 20 people on the same database. 20 users will be created. Whenever you are giving access, every time user will be created with their name. Now in my batch currently 23 people are there. Pradeep, Shivashankar, Anil, Satyam, Chandu. So for all 23 people, if I create 23 logins here, if I gave access to all 23 logins on this Flipkart database, 23 users will be created for each login. Okay, one user will be created. Okay.
Okay.
So if that is not possible, how can multiple people can access the single database? They cannot access, right? Only one person can access. Okay, so that's not like that. You can create, as you can create 32,767 logins. For all logins, you can give access on same database in the Flipkart database. So 32,767 users will be created in the Flipkart database. Got the point?
Okay.
Okay, so in a single database, maximum 32,767 users can be created, and for a single login, maximum 32,767 users can be created in multiple databases. Clear, guys? Any issues, any doubts? So if that is clear, let's go and create a Windows login. First, I'll show you how to create a Windows login. As discussed, what is the prerequisite, guys, to create a Windows login? What is the prerequisite? I want to create a Windows login. What is the prerequisite? What is the
Should be part of
prerequisite? What is the prerequisite for creating a Windows login?
Permission.
No.
No.
Is a Windows user.
Correct. Why you are thinking? Okay. I said right, grandfather, father, and I want to create a father. What I should have? If I want to create a father, I should have a grandfather, right? Grandfather means I should have Windows user. Means in the Windows level I have to create one user, right? Correct. Okay, so
right.
let's go and create a one Windows user. Before that, what I'm going to do? Okay, let me open lusrmgr.msc in the server. In earlier I opened in my local laptop. Now I'm opening in the server, so that you can see what and all users are there. Okay, only two users. One is administrator. That's why I'm able to log into the server using administrator account. Another account is guest account. Okay, guest account. So there are no more accounts. If I lost my administrator password, there are no more accounts to log into this machine. Okay, fine. So let's try to connect as a Vinod. Let's go with the same example, Vinod. I'll try to create a Windows login for Vinod. Okay, let me disconnect this. I'm sorry. Okay, let me connect again. Windows authentication. Done. Okay, so go to security, logins. Windows login is not there, right? For Vinod, right click. Just a minute, it was disconnected. Right click, new login. I'm trying to create a Windows login. Without creating a Windows user, I'm trying to create a Windows login. So click on search. You can see here, right? If you select Windows authentication, that is Windows login. If you select SQL authentication, that is SQL login. That's it. You don't see Windows login, SQL login option. If you choose Windows authentication, means that is a Windows login. If you choose SQL authentication, means that is a SQL login. I want to create Windows login, right? Choose Windows authentication. Search. Now I want to create a Windows login for Vinod. Okay, right. Check names. Click on check names. You will get the error. Why? There is no user of Vinod. An object with the following name could not be found. Vinod. Check the selected object types and locations for accuracy and ensure that you have typed the object name correctly, or remove this object from the selection. Okay, it is saying there is no Vinod. Okay, in your computer. So first of all, I have to create a Windows user in the Windows level, right? Go to LUSR MGR section, go to user section. Here, let me create, right click new user, guys. I'll give Vinod name this time. Vinod. And see here, let me uh, 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 mm, mm, mm. Okay, so let me go to the server. Let me show you one thing, guys. While logging into the server, you can see one account only. Okay, just click on this backspace Come on, come on, come on. You can see multiple login screen. Want to show you with different accounts. How can I show that one? As of now, only one account is there. Other user option you will get it, guys. Okay, other user option will get it.
After creation the user,
Then
other
only you'll get it, huh?
users.
Okay,
Yes.
let me lock it. We'll see whether I can. No, now also I'm unable to
Okay.
see. Okay, sorry. Let me create that one. I can see other user. Okay, as of now only one user is there, right? So let me create Vinod. Okay, full name not required, description not required. Guys, creating Windows users is not our responsibility. Creating Windows user, okay, creating AD level user is not our responsibility. Just for the example purpose, I am creating in the organization. Creating Windows user is the responsibility of the Windows team. Okay, not our responsibility, it's the responsibility of the Windows team. They are going to, so if Vinod comes to us, hey, can you give me access on SQL server, we'll ask Windows authentication or SQL authentication. If Vinod said Windows authentication, okay, chalo, go to Windows team, ask them to create a user for you, go back to us once they created, then we'll create a SQL, a login in the SQL server for you. Okay, so if it is a Windows login, you have to route the user to the Windows team. They will create users in the Windows machine or Active Directory. So once they created, they will let us know, then we have to create a login for Vinod. Okay, so this is the process. Chalo, password I'm giving for Vinod. So this is the Vinod password. Remember, Vinod, this is your password, dot 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 123. Okay, remember this password. Okay, you have to enter this password. Okay, a password never expires, user cannot change password, that's okay. Usually this option will be checked in the organization. User must change password. Why? Because I know we know the password. Okay, usually in the organization Windows team will select this option. I know, as I am a Windows team guy, I just put the password. I asked Vinod, hey Vinod, remember your password 123. Actually, is Vinod password 123? No, it's a big password. I'm just saying 123. He don't know the password. I know the password. Why? Because I am setting up the password. I know his password. So if I select this option, I'll send a separate email to Vinod. Hey Vinod, this is your username, this is your password. Like that, I'll send a separate email to Vinod. Okay, then Vinod will able to log into the server first time. Then as this option is checked, user must change password at next login. So guys, when you are opening an account, online account, so you will get a default password or OTP to your phone. If you try to enter that OTP, then it will ask you to enter new password, new pin and all. In the same way, I know the Vinod passwords. I know the password of Vinod account. I can misuse Vinod account, right? So that's why if you select this option, next time when Vinod is trying to log in, it will ask, a pop-up will come. It will ask to change the password for Vinod. So Vinod will put his own password. I too don't know what is Vinod's password. Okay, I'm unselecting this now as for now. Okay, again the server is disconnected. If you don't understand, chalo, no problem, leave it. Okay, not an issue. Okay, right. Let me uncheck this one. User cannot change password. Password never expires. Okay, create, guys. That's it. We know the account is created now. Okay, now we know the account is created. Now can Vinod connect to the SQL server, guys? Vinod account is created in the Windows machine. Can Vinod connect to the SQL server now?
No, sir.
No. Why? Why?
No,
Because Vinod is
So
not in
window
the
level.
Windows level,
not.
SQL server level. Okay, Vinod is not part of the SQL level now. So now what I can do, I can create a login for Vinod now. Earlier I got the error, right? The same window is already opened. Yes. Now earlier I got the error, right? I don't change the name, just click on check names this time. Now you can see computer name slash Vinod. Earlier I got the error. See, if you don't believe me, let me go with another name. Let me go with a Shaheen. Okay. Let me check names. I'll get the error. Why? Because I didn't created Shaheen here. If I create Shaheen here, Shaheen is able to okay, we are able to create login for Shaheen in the SQL server. Okay, so that's how it is going to work. So as Vinod user is there, now I can see Vinod. Okay, click OK, guys. Now click OK. Forget about all other options, no need to give any options. I'll explain about server levels, user mapping and all. I'll explain, so nothing to worry. Just click, give the name, select the authentication type. Of course, before giving the name, you have to select the authentication type. Click OK. Done. Your login will be created. You can see here. Just logins, refresh it. Okay, it will go to a alphabetical order, guys. Okay, right. Now you can see Vinod. Now I want to connect as Vinod, guys. Now help me. I'll give you 5 reward points if you help me. I want to connect as Vinod to this SQL server. How can I do that? If I click on connect button, I don't see Vinod here.
You
Instead
select
of
the
administrator, it should be in the note.
I cannot choose. Sorry, you want me to choose single
authentic.
authentication?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Username,
Vinod.
the login name.
Okay, so username is Vinod and login name is Vinod and password the password which I gave, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good, guys.
Yes, sir.
You have to log in to the Windows.
We have to
Expand
create Windows
server
login.
name.
Guys, I have created a Windows login. How can I use SQL authentication?
Grandfather, father, son.
Correct. Okay,
It's
grandfather,
already
father,
created
son.
here.
I have
Yeah.
created a Windows login, right? So how can I select a SQL authentication here? If it is a Windows login, Windows authentication should be there, right? If it is SQL authentication should be there. I have created a Windows login, so I have to choose Windows authentication here. But I am not getting
Okay.
Vinod name. Like this, it has to
Expand
get.
server name.
Okay.
No.
Expand server name. Good. Someone said one option for me. Expand server name. Okay, let me expand. Okay, now
Browse.
browse. Okay, very good. Next.
And expand
Database
database
engine.
engine.
Very good. Database engine. Super. Next.
This. Okay.
Okay. What happened? Same server name will come. Why you are changing the
We have
server
to log
name?
in with Vinod name.
Why you are changing the server name? First of all, you created the okay, this is the server name section. We are waiting for users, we are searching for users. What is the need of changing the server name? Why do we have multiple servers? We have only one server, right? Chalo, let's reconnect, guys. Let's reconnect.